everybody. Welcome to Enjoy English. I am Shane.
Hello, I'm Bernice.
Okay, so we are looking at day 2 of Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
These big eaters, they are doing something crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Insane.
Eating dozens and dozens of hot dogs in just 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fast eating contest. Not a slow one.
Yeah, gorging themselves. That's another way to say when you put a lot of food and eat a lot of food at once, you can say you're gorging yourself with food. So they're gorging themselves with hot dogs. They have just 10 minutes to basically finish as many of these hot dogs with the buns as they can.
Yes.
Which, again, is pretty crazy. But to each their own. Okay, why don't we learn a little bit more about it in just a moment?
Okay.
All right, so continuing. Eating hot dogs at lightning speed is not as easy as you might think.
Lightning, which means extremely fast.
Right, because lightning, when we see lightning in the sky, it happens very quickly. So if you do something as quick as lightning, that means you do it very, very fast. So lightning speed. So it's not as easy as you might think. Okay, well, to be honest, I don't think that it's easy.
No, not healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think I can digest all the food in only 10 minutes. 76 hot dogs? My gosh.
Yeah, nothing about this to me seems very easy. Okay.
Maybe after this contest, I don't want to see any hot dog anymore.
Right. So, yeah, I think I would probably never have another hot dog again. Okay, so it's not as easy as you might think. It requires strategy, technique, and practice.
Of course.
Right.
You need you have to do some detailed plans. You need some special skills.
Right.
And you have to practice a lot
to
achieve your goal.
Yeah, you really would kind of have to sit around and think about, okay, what's the way that I'm going to approach this problem I have in front of me? How do I attack this problem, or how do I attack this challenge? And yeah, it's definitely going to require some sort of some technique. You can't just eat it like you would normally eat a hot dog, you know, in a park on a sunny day. No, you're eating at lightning speed. So this requires you to do some planning.
Yes, that's
right?
true.
And practice and practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay, so top competitors have their own methods to get the job done.
To complete their task.
Right. So if you are in a competition, then you are a competitor, which means that you compete against other people.
Yes.
Which to compete just means to go against each other. Once again, like we mentioned before. So they have their own methods to get it done. So there's not just one way that everybody does, because it's pretty simple, right? It's a hot dog with a bun. So I don't know how many different ways you could really approach this challenge, but apparently it's there. You would think by now everyone would do the same technique, but apparently, there's different methods in order to get the job done.
Right, because different competitors, they will have different tips or tricks to finish this contest.
Right. Okay. So Chestnut and many other eaters often use water to soften their buns so the bread can be swallowed more easily.
Okay, so this is the most popular way they're doing.
Right. Yeah. So that is most often, that's what we see these eaters do. And that's, when I've seen them do this in videos too, I've seen them dip the buns in the water.
Yes.
throw that in their mouth and then suck down the hot dog. I don't even know if they chew it. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
They
don't even have the time.
They don't have time to chew. You just have time to just suck it into your stomach.
Yes, that's true.
So, others separate the hot dog from the bun before eating them.
Separate from, which means part the hot dog from the bun.
Oh, okay. So you could either keep the hot dog in the bun, dip it in water, or you could separate the two.
Yeah, you can eat the hot dog first or eat the bun first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it makes any difference which one you eat first. Probably not. They're all going to the same place, right?
Okay.
This strategy helps them chew more efficiently.
Efficiently, which means save them a lot of time.
Right. Yeah. So chewing is what we do when we eat. We use our teeth to mash up the food and we put it in our mouth and our saliva breaks down the food, gets it wet and makes it easier to go down your throat and eventually into your tummy.
Yes.
Yes. So this strategy, I think of using the water, that does seem to be the one that I think I would, if I were going to join a contest like this, I'm pretty sure that that's what I would do.
I would do so.
I would definitely dip it in water.
Very smart.
Because I think bread is just not that easy to chew.
Yes, that's true.
It requires a lot of chewing to get it down your throat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. To me, that seems like it's cheating, to be honest. Right?
But they don't have a rule for this contest, right? You just swallow as much as you can.
Yeah, but they allow water there so that you can dip it. To me, I don't know. I'd like to know if there's a competition where it's just you, the hot dog, and the bun. You can't use any tricks because that is a kind of a trick, right?
Yeah, right.
Making it easier for you to swallow. Okay, let's take a short break and we will come right back.
Okay.
Okay, so continuing along, contest legend Takeru Kobayashi, who we mentioned in day one, right, uses the Solomon method.
Wow, that's a very special name. Solomon method.
The Solomon method. So he is a legend. When we think about, competitive eating, I think all over the world, everybody knows this competitive eater called Kobayashi. And he uses the Solomon method. So what is the Solomon method? Okay. He breaks each hot dog in half before putting them into his mouth.
Oh, okay. So he not just put the hot dog, the bun in the water and breaks each hot dog in half.
Breaks it in half. Okay. This seems like basic technique. I don't know why they have to call it. It sounds like very scientific. The Solomon method. You're basically just breaking it in half so that you
But sometimes because of the time, most of the competitors, they don't think too much. They just want to swallow the food. But this guy, he's very smart. He tried to break it into half.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a bit debatable how smart this makes him. I think it would be quite natural to want to get it into more of a bite size. More bite size before you put it into your mouth.
Yes, that's true.
So, okay. Believe it or not, doing little dances is part of the method for many champions.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is interesting to me. So far, dipping it in the water, breaking it in half, that just seems pretty basic to me. I think most people would figure out, okay, that's an easy way to get a hot dog down your throat.
Yeah, so that's sometimes we see these competitors, they will stand up and eat their food and try to shake their body.
Yeah. So they start actually dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Right. And so from any of these champions, so a champion is somebody who is the winner of some sort of a competition, right? And call these champions. The act of jumping and moving around helps push food down the esophagus and makes sure every space in the stomach is used. Okay, so that does actually make a little bit of sense.
Yes.
You are moving around so the food can gravity, kind of assisting the gravity to kind of shake the food down the esophagus.
Yes.
And maybe helping it settle down, like the food settles down into your stomach so more food can get in there and fit in there.
Your stomach can handle more food, more and more food.
But if you ask me, if I had already stuffed, let's say, for example, 8 hot dogs in my stomach, and then I started dancing around, I'm pretty sure that hot dog is going to come back out from my stomach, back through my esophagus and through my mouth, all over the floor. Yeah, you're right. I would probably throw it up. So to me, it does seem a little bit dangerous to be jumping and let alone talking about choking, you know?
Yeah, right, choking.
I think if you're
very dangerous.
Moving around and jumping, that might actually make you choke on your food. So, but I don't know. We're not the professionals here.
Yeah. So. Anyway, some people say that this kind of method can help them easily to breathe.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, right.
Interesting. It can help them breathe more easily. Oh, okay. I guess it makes sense. I guess just kind of pushing the food down, just getting it down there. Yes. You're getting it through your esophagus, jumping around, and it's settling in and kind of getting the air maybe separated from the food, making you have a little bit more space, I suppose. Okay, while these methods may seem simple, they can give competitors a slight edge in this fierce contest.
Yeah, while means although.
Right. Yeah, so it can give them a slight edge. So slight just means a little.
A little, yeah.
Right? So, and an edge here just means that you get a kind of an advantage.
Yeah, an advantage.
Right? So you can get a little bit of an advantage by using these methods. So, yeah, they do seem pretty simple, but I mean, you can't get too complicated. It's just a hot dog.
Yeah. And
you're eating it. So there's not many different things you can do. So simple is about all you have. Right?
Yeah.
And this is, they say here, it's a fierce contest.
Yeah, fierce, or we can also use violent, violent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know how violent, because, fierce here will just mean that it would be like very, very competitive.
Yes.
Right?
Very competitive.
But I am actually curious if it does get violent, because, you know, competitions do bring out in people kind of like an animal side to them.
Yeah, right. You have to watch all the competitors.
Yeah, and I wonder if you try to like sabotage them, you know, you'll try to make it difficult for them to finish their food. Like maybe you accidentally knock over their water so they can't dip their hot dog in there.
No, I don't think they can do that. They will do that. I know.
No, accidentally.
Okay, accidentally.
In quotes.
Okay.
Accidentally.
Okay.
So I don't know how fierce it does become in there. But yeah.
But we can say it's a kind of aggressive contest, right?
Oh, right. That's another way of saying it too.
AGGRESSIVE, aggressive.
Yes, because you're certainly eating quite aggressively. And most competitions do have an aggressive or fierce component to them because people become very, very competitive.
Yes, that's true.
All right, let's take a short break and we'll be right back. continuing along. These are just a few of the many strategies employed by competitive eaters.
Yeah, that's the name for them. For these big eaters, we call them competitive eaters.
Right. Yeah. So if you are a competitive eater, that means that you participate in these competitions to eat usually as much food as possible. And it kind of depends on the type of food. It's also quite famous, at least in America, to have pie eating competitions.
Oh, yeah, right.
And those are really fun to watch because people actually stuff their face into the pie because you're not allowed to use your hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I think in some competitions, you kind of put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
And then the pie is in front of you. And without using your hands or anything, you just stuff your face in the pie. Like there's a tin, maybe, the container that holds the pie, and you just devour as many pies as you possibly can. So that's even more, at least in American culture, when we're thinking about food eating competitions, we think of these pie eating competitions.
Wow, no hands. My God.
So, yeah, but I guess there's always in in any competition, you're going to employ different strategies.
Employ, which means use.
Just means to use, right? By these competitive eaters. And again, we keep seeing words like competition, competitors, competitive, right? Which here is an adjective. And these are all coming from to compete, the verb, and all because you are in some sort of a competition.
Yes.
Okay. As Nathan's hot dog eating contest continues to evolve, so will the techniques used to win it.
Yeah, so remember when you use so, you have to put the subject and your verb in the reverse way. Yeah. Evolve also means developed gradually.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you talk about evolution, right? So you could talk about the evolution of this sport or this competition. I don't know if it qualifies as a sport, but okay, it is definitely a competition. So it's evolving constantly. There's evolution, and of course, people will come up with new techniques or new ways, new tricks and tips in order to win the competition, right? Which is just human nature. And I think if you notice, if you've ever paid attention, if you watch, for example, really any sport or any competition, you watched it maybe 50 years ago, and you see the level at which people are at now compared to back then. It's quite amazing to see how much progress people make, how much they evolve in the ability to do well in these competitions. You know, it's kind of like the human spirit.
Yeah, evolve is great.
Yes. Okay. Perhaps next year's winner will come up with a completely new method and take home the championship.
Yeah, because we all know that there are tricks and tips, so maybe the other winners, they have to come up with something different.
Yeah, come up with, you could say, to develop, invent.
Right? Invent.
Right? They're going to definitely, they're already constantly changing their methods. So maybe someone will come up with just some method no one's ever thought of, a completely new method.
Yeah.
And take home the championship. So you can't say to take home a trophy, take home a championship, take home the win. Just means that basically you are the winner.
You are the winner.
And you go home the winner.
Proudly.
So the championship just means that you are the winner of a competition.
Yes.
Right? So you take home the championship. Oh, okay. So this has definitely been a very interesting journey through the world of competitive eating. I had no idea that there were all these different techniques, especially jumping around. I think that one to me is quite fascinating.
Yeah, I just hope these competitors can keep healthy.
Yeah.
I'm worried about their health,
as long as they
their stomach.
As long as they don't do it too often.
Or their appetite in the future.
Yeah, it feels like you could do some damage. Okay, well, that's all the time we have.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.